Just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean they're necessarily wrong. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick, and the idea for today's podcast comes from watching a clip by Andy Elliott, one of the mega alpha sales people out there. Now, I know many denizens of the internet find his whole shtick to be a little much, to be a little extra. He wears short shorts, he's super jacked, he wears shirts that look like they're painted on, but he's got gigantic muscles, and he really pushes and pushes and pushes his sales technique, right? He's a salesman, he sells a sales technique. It all feels very performative in the service of him kind of selling this technique. But when you actually listen to him, he's not necessarily wrong. He's not. A couple things he's not wrong on. I'm going to start with the physical fitness aspect of things. Look, live your life. Don't exercise, do exercise, eat right, don't eat right. My diet is crap. I'm currently holding a freaking Americano. But life is much easier if you can find a way to eat at least 80% healthy and work out. It's much easier. It's just that's just a fact of life. You avoid having to use weight loss drugs. You avoid high blood pressure medications. You avoid a lot of different things with diet and exercise. So while you may not like him on that front, he's not wrong. And I've listened to his sales technique, right? I'm not a sales guy. I avoid sales like the plague, but I know how sales works, selling products. And his technique is pretty good in terms of establishing a rapport with a client and getting the client over the finish line. And as my dad has always said, life is, you're always selling something, whether you're trying to make friends with somebody or you're trying to get hired, you're always selling something. Even actors, especially actors, you're selling your talent. Right? That's why people are always talk about marketing materials. Your marketing materials have to jump off the page. And you always have to be polite and engaging. It doesn't matter if you have the best product in the world if you're not engaging, if you're not polite, if you're not all of these things. But a lot of that message gets discounted because we don't like the fact that he wears short shorts. I mean, the Flying Purple People Eater wears short shorts. And we seem to like the Flying Purple People Eater a great deal. For those of you that don't know that reference, the Flying Purple People Eater is an old song. It was a one-eyed, one-horned Flying Purple People Eater. One-eyed, one-horned Flying Purple People Eater. We're going to make that reference today. But look, this gets to a broader point. That broader point simply being that just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean they don't have something to meaningfully contribute to your life. They probably do. In fact, the people you dislike the most may have something meaningful to contribute to your life. I'm going to use the kind of alpha men of the internet as the example because people have made entire careers making fun of the alpha males of the internet, the self-described alpha males. Just because they're kind of pricks doesn't necessarily mean everything they say is wrong. You should never discount someone's entire opinion based on your opinion of that person. There are a few notable exceptions throughout history. Pretty much when it comes to Adolf Hitler, you can discount everything he said. Just get rid of it. Like nothing, it doesn't matter. He was, historically speaking, known for loving children and puppies. It doesn't matter. None of that. He more than offset anything good he could have possibly ever said. It out the window. Joseph Stalin, another one. I don't care if anything that man did, Joseph Stalin, anything he did, discounted entirely. Andy Elliott is not that person. I don't know, Fresh and Fit podcast. I've made fun of Fresh and Fit on here before. Myron isn't always wrong. I just don't like his delivery methods. And I don't like the way he kind of brings young women on the show specifically to kind of set them up to fail. His message to young men is absolutely fine. Take care of yourself, earn a lot of money, try different things. If you're unhappy, take control of your own life in some way, shape, or form. Do I believe there's more of a faith aspect that's important in life? Absolutely. But Myron is not, I don't know that Myron is of my faith. I don't know that he is Christian. I've never asked him. I've never met him. But just because I don't personally think I would like Myron, it doesn't mean that he's entirely wrong. Andrew Tate, I don't know that I buy into anything Andrew Tate says. Now, that being said, when you listen to him and his brother and their clips in a vacuum and you don't consider the full broader picture of what they say a very similar thing to what Myron says. They try to give a message of hope to young men. Now, granted, they're being accused of essentially human trafficking in Romania. They say it's a government conspiracy, but they also ran a cam model business, which, if you've been on the internet a while, you know what cam modeling is. Just because we disagree with somebody doesn't mean they're wrong. I am not Muslim. Shocker, I know. I've talked about being Christian here multiple times. But just because I don't think that the Quran is the word of God, it doesn't mean that the Quran doesn't have valuable lessons to teach. It does. I'm not Jewish. That doesn't mean that the Jewish religious documents don't have important things to teach. It doesn't mean that a rabbi doesn't have important things to teach. And now, granted, a rabbi and Andy Elliott and Myron and Andrew Tate, they're very, very different people, right? Like, I don't mean to equate a rabbi with Andrew Tate. Most rabbis I know are very, very smart, very, very intelligent, but we would never agree on some fundamental things. Like, we would never agree that Jesus was the Son of God. It just wouldn't happen because it's not part of their faith. So just because I don't agree with them on some things doesn't mean they don't have wisdom to impart. It's just something to keep in mind as you go about your day, right? You'll be much happier in your life if instead of brushing people and their opinions aside, you have a curious mind. And you ask yourself, okay, what's the next layer down? What value do you bring? Rather than dismissing somebody based on your impression of them, throw your impressions aside. Everybody has snap judgments. That's just a fact. Everybody has snap judgments. It's just gonna happen. People say don't judge a book by its cover. That's false. We judge all books by their covers. But once you have that initial impression, don't be bound to the initial impression. Just let the initial impression be the first step in a fact-finding mission as to what this person is all about. Now, granted, they may be garbage people. You can have the most curious mind in the world, and you may find out that somebody is just human garbage. But don't assume somebody is human garbage. Do the work to prove to yourself that someone is human garbage. And even if someone is human garbage, keep your mind open to the possibility that perhaps even in that garbage, there is some treasure. For one man's trash is another man's potpourri, as Jim Carrey as the Grinch would say. And that's it. That's the whole post today. We're done early. Go about your day. If you like what I say, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. If you don't like what I said, leave a mean comment. Tell me I'm human garbage. And I'll say that's okay. Because like all good garbage, there's some treasure hiding inside me. Anyways, that's all I got. I'm short today. My cousin Dan, who is one of our faithful viewers, will really enjoy this episode because I actually end on time. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.